What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Mello with Marty's Buick GMC and Chevrolet, and in today's video, I'll be updating you on some of the supply chain issues and mainly what that means for our favorite trucks from General Motors. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you aren't already. I upload fresh General Motors related content every single week, so if that's something that you're into, be sure to tune in. Let's get into it. All right, so we're almost to the end of 2021, which honestly sounds a little crazy to say out loud, but I mean, did this year fly by for anyone else or was it just me? Anyways, I'm sure many of you have followed my supply chain shortage videos and updates here on the channel over the past few months, and with all the news that's been coming out recently, it looks like it might be time to update you all once again, because it turns out there's quite a few features that your new GM truck or SUV might just be missing. Some of these you might not care about at all, some you might be happy to hear are gone, and some might just make you sad. But one thing I do want everyone to know before we get into this is that this isn't something that's just affecting General Motors. For instance, BMW earlier announced that it will be removing touchscreen functionality from the central display in models like the 3 Series or some of the 4 Series, the Z4, as well as like the X5, the X6, and I believe the X7 as well. Ford and Nissan have been building vehicles without satellite navigation. Porsche has been dropping, I believe they dropped their 18-way power seats. They also dropped their power steering column adjustment. Tesla's losing USB ports. Passenger power lumbar support's gone. My point is that manufacturers are doing everything they can to keep production going, and it's affecting everybody. I mean, in fact, even Mercedes-Benz is dropping wireless charging pads. I believe the hands-free rear access system, some of their premium LED lighting, and even their audio systems from their flagship cars, like AMGs, are coming without their premium audio. I mean, it's all just crazy. But what's going on with General Motors? Because that's what we're here to talk about. So first, I'm going to go through the whole list. But first on the list, kind of one of the smaller issues, HD radio. GM actually said over the summer that they would be eliminating the HD radio options for the 2021 Silverado, the Sierra, as well as the 2022 2500 HD and 3500. And as of now, there have been no announcements or plans that I have seen or heard to reinstate the HD radio option in the 2022 Silverado or Sierra. So I expect that option, at least as of now, to remain sidelined, at least until GM says otherwise. Now, starting this week, this is one of the options that many people are this is kind of what stirred this whole thing up. This might be one of those options that you get a little sad about. Most GM trucks and SUVs will be losing their heated and ventilated seats. This means Silverado, Sierra, Traverse, Blazer, Equinox, Acadia, Canyon, Terrain. The exception to the rule would be the High Country and Denali models, and according to a letter from GM to dealers, this change will last throughout the 2022 model year. Oh yeah, heated steering wheels are also going the way of the dodo. So if you're like me and you live in New England or any other place that gets nice and cold during the winter, this news is kind of a buzzkill. I'm sure there's some people that don't really care, but it's kind of a buzz. I mean, I don't have heated seats in my truck, but you know, when you're paying big money for these trucks, I get it. Could be kind of a buzzkill. But on the bright side, customers will be getting a credit to help make up for the missing features. So, you know, it's between $150 to $500. Some of you might care, some of you might not care, some of you just want your heated seats. I get it. Next up, wireless charging pads for your smartphone are also dropping off on some models like the 21 Tahoe, the Suburban, Yukon, Traverse, even the 2022 Buick Enclave and the Cadillac XT5 and XT6. Now, it was expected that this option would return after the 2021 model year, but now that I'm seeing the 2022 Enclave is on that list, I'm not sure if we should just expect the wireless charging pads to come back for 2022 or not. For me, this is one of those options that I personally don't really care about. I'll take the $75 credit and move on. I've been so programmed to plug in my phone that this is just one of those things that I don't really care about. Once again, you might be different. I'm sure customers want to be able to have the option to have that charging pad if they want it, but you know, kind of is what it is. The last two features that, although expected to only affect 2021 models, the rumor is this may continue through the 2022 model year, is first, it's the auto start and stop feature, which I am totally okay with. I personally hate the feature. I don't care how much fuel it saves me. I hate it. I've always hated it. I know that as fuel prices continue to rise, this may be an issue for some people, but the auto start stop literally drives me insane. And, you know, it's not like GM's the only one doing this. This is a feature that's been kind of spread out. A bunch of manufacturers have picked this up. It's awful. Thankfully, we have a button to turn it off, but now it's just not going to be in there at all. So, they can remove this one altogether for good, and I'll be happy about it. But that's just me. The other is active fuel management or dynamic fuel management, which to most of you is known as like cylinder deactivation, where your V8 truck will drop down into 4-cylinder mode in order to sip a little less fuel. Personally, cylinder deactivation never really bothered me all that much. I never had any issues with it in my truck, but I know many people hate it. I've heard it quite a bit. So if I had to guess, not too many people are going to care about seeing this feature disappear, but I could be wrong. Maybe that, that savings in fuel economy, especially now, might, maybe that has an effect. The elimination of the cylinder deactivation or active fuel management or DFM or whatever you decide you want to call it, this did plan on affecting just the remaining 2021 models, but once again, I haven't heard anything from GM in regards to reinstating the feature. So until I hear them say that it's kind of coming back, just knowing where the state of everything is and how we're continuing to see, issues with the supply chain, issues with the chips, and you're only seeing it seems like the chip shortage is getting worse for other manufacturers. I'm just going to assume that most of these are going to continue through the 2022 model year. Now, keep in mind, most of that speculation on my part, because with the exception of the heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel, the rest of the features are supposed to return. But until I hear otherwise, like I said, considering the chip shortage is still ongoing, I think it's just safer to make that assumption than to, assume that all these features are going to be back. Thankfully, I personally believe that most of these are minor issues, unless you're a die-hard wireless charging person or you listen to a lot of HD radio. How many of you even listen to HD radio? Do people actually listen to HD radio? I listen to my phone. Like I said, maybe I'm a different breed. But with the only thing I'm really mad about is the heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel, mostly because I'm in New England. So I could see that being a problem for some people. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on these features. How many of them do you care about? Are any of them like an absolute deal breaker for you? I'll be curious to hear what you guys think. I always love hearing your feedback. As always, I would like to thank you all for watching. This was just a quick update. I wanted to make sure that I got out there and told you guys about this. But if you made it this far into the video, if you could help your boy out, just smash that like button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my friends over at gmpartsdepartment.com for all your GM OEM parts needs. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again, guys. Take care.